It is day 4 of Myths. It's the last video for the Myths week. So let's get down to it right away. First, let's talk about our learning targets. Today, you will review features of myths, just that concept map that we've started each lesson with. Very important. We will read and analyze the myth, and actually should probably say reread because you're going to reread the Quetzalcoatl creates people myth. So you're going to reread that, and you're going to look at, in this case, you're going to compare and contrast characters based on textual evidence. So you're really going to delve deeper into an understanding of Quetzalcoatl and Yom Simo. So that's going to be where we're going to spend the vast majority of your time today. And then finally, as you go through this, you're going to start building oral language and vocabulary. One of the things you're going to have the option of doing today is you're going to have the option of working with someone just to give you a chance to dialogue what's going on. I will say that as you do that, it might be helpful if it's someone in your guided reading group or someone that's not in a guided reading group that meets either just directly before or after you, just to give yourself a little bit more time as you work through this. Because as I'm calling groups, it will be helpful if you will have more time. Okay? All right, so let's start with our features of myths web here. Myths often take place before time. Or recorded history as we know it began. This is a very good example of that. Quetzalcoatl, if you notice, it takes place before time, because at this point in time, they're trying to repopulate the human race, to repopulate the world with less, I don't know, bad people. So, I mean, it very much takes place, and that's kind of where humans came from. Okay? Myths have gods, goddesses, and heroes with superpowers. Quetzalcoatl is a god. They talk about I forgot her name, the goddess of light or rainbows, or I forget the name, and can't exactly pull it up right now. So but you also have Yom Simo, who is the god of the dead. So so you have this in the story. In the Norse, when we talked about Thor and Loki, you have gods with supernatural powers. Myths have characters that are humans or human-like and experience human emotions. When we read about Narcissus, very much a human, very much had human emotions, and yeah, he, was infatuated with himself. So very much a human emotion there as well. Characters often perform heroic tasks or go on quests. Thor and Loki, they go on a quest and to get Thor's hammer back. Quetzalcoatl goes to the land of the dead to get the bones of dead humans. Okay. Myths often explain the worldview of the people or culture and may have religious elements. So when we think about this, the worldview, think about kind of what's around them and things like that. Um, you know, Perhaps it's not existent in the Thor story or the Narcissus story, but I mean, very much evident in the Quetzalcoatl creates people. And then finally, myths often explain the origins of the world, its creatures or elements in nature. So, I mean, it talks, when we look, each one of them talks about, with Thor and his hammer, that's origins of thunder and lightning. Um, with Narcissus, it's the origin of, the flower, and, how that's how he was ended his life, I guess, if you want to say that. And then with Quetzalcoatl, I mean, it's in the title. He creates people, so it's where people came from. So all of the myths thus far that we've read they have some of these features. Now, you might not have all of them, but when you look at myths as a whole, they're going to have the vast majority of these. All right. Okay, so today you're going to reread the story of Quetzalcoatl creates people, either independently or with a partner. And then after rereading the story, you can complete the questions and table in the handout packet for Unit 5, Week 2, Day 4. Now, boys and girls, you can either, the rest of the video, the rest of the slideshow, is just going to have the story pages in it. So you can either, just turn to the next page and pause and read it as you and your partner or by yourself, or you can go to the closed text for reading books and grab those, and then you can find a place to work with your partner there. Once you are done, okay, you can, after reading either independently with partner, you can work with the partner to work on completing the table that's on in the packet, and then answer the questions. Okay, so when we talk about this myth, though, the myth pits Quetzalcoatl against Yom Simil, the death god. They are very different characters. As you reread, what I want you to pay attention to is each character's thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. So, and when you're done, you can compare and contrast them. All right. So as you go through, again, you can just, the rest of the pages, I will just turn the page and I will hold it on for like 10 seconds so you can pause it and read it, or you can just go and get the closed text for reading. Okay, so I will turn the page and just hold it there for about 10 seconds. All right, so why don't you take some time and work on the table that compares Quetzalcoatl and Yom Simil, and then the questions that go with it. But, you know, it is important that you can, as you go through, work with a partner and use details from the text to draw comparisons and contrast between the characters. Okay, so talk with the partner. All right, and then in closing, today we got deeper into the myth and looked closely at two characters. Okay, we compared two characters. Understanding these characters really helped us understand the heart of the story. A battle between a good God that wanted to nurture new life and an evil God who wanted to destroy any chance of new life. Okay, the struggle between good and evil is a theme in many myths and other great pieces of literature. All right, that's all we have, boys and girls. Hopefully, you took some time, and now we have a better understanding of myths and a better understanding of Quetzalcoatl and Yom Simil. All right,